Splatoon updates are becoming rarer and rarer as time goes on. It's been over 100 days since the last patch for this game. However, Nintendo seems to be valuing quality over quantity, as the patch coming later today is a big one with a lot of potential. Let's look at the 5 biggest winners of the patch, and for the competitive players out there, what comps to use each of them in. First one is the Splat-Dually. Splat-Dually received a smaller buff that was nice, but what really affects it is a nerf to a particularly annoying special. For the buff, the hitbox of its shots in its standing mode are a bit larger, making them easier to land. This can be nice in short-range matchups, as well as when it closes the distance against longer-range weapons. However, it was already pretty good at this range, and this doesn't affect the turret mode, so it's not going to affect too much overall. What really affects Dually, however, is the nerf to Trizooka. Trizooka received a change where the very outside of its hitbox now does 35 damage instead of 53, meaning if you land 2 outside hits with Trizooka, they won't combo into each other anymore. Zuka was a very annoying matchup for the special Splat-Dually has, Crab Tank, as one shot from Bazooka with Object Shredder could immediately delete the crab. While Zuka can still do that, the change to its outside hitbox, making it do 35 damage, means less players are likely to use it overall, meaning Crab's hardest special matchup is now going to be less popular. This makes Crab even more powerful after the patch, and because Crab is attached to Dually, that gives players an even bigger reason to use it. For a comp, I would recommend pairing Dually with the heavy edit Splatling, the Splatana Stamper, and the S-Blast 91. The Stamper and S-Blast can combo off Dually very easily, and Stamper's Zipcaster gives Dually a big opening to move in. Next up is the NZAP 85. This is another gun with some pretty nice direct buffs, but indirect buffs are really what's going to make a difference here. For direct buffs, it receives more movement speed as well as better accuracy. These are good changes for sure, but Zap's problem right now is more of a kit's problem and less of a main weapon problem. Zap's special is the Tacticooler, the most important special in the meta by far right now. Because it's such an important special, you want to get them as reliably as possible. But because Zap is a short-range shooter, while something like Snipe Rider or Heavy Edit are long-range weapons, it's a lot riskier for you to get a lot of specials, since you're going to be closer to the opponent when you paint. Plus, even if no opponents were on the field, Zap would get less coolers than Pen and Heavy Edits, at least before the patch. Plus, these buffs make Zap's fighting better, but if you're going to be fighting more, it's going to be harder for you to build consistent specials. Plus, on top of this, many of the anchors outside of Snipe Rider and Heavy Edit have weak or middle of the road kits, meaning their specials or sub-weapons either don't synergize that well or just aren't that powerful in the first place. However, Snipe Rider or Pen received a very big nerf this patch. Pen is by far the most popular cooler option, but it's receiving changes to its paint and points for special, meaning it's going to have a harder time painting its teammates in as well as getting Tacticoolers. Pen being brought down could give Zap a major opportunity to shine. For a Zap comp, you can run it with ZF Scope or Firefin, Mint's Decapitator, and Splat-Dually. Mint and Dually combo off of each other, like how Stamper and Dually do, as well as the strikes from Firefin can give Mint paint to move in with. This next weapon receives no direct changes at all, but the nerfing of Pen is massive for this weapon. It is the Heavy Edit and Heavy Edit Nouveau. Pen's paint nerf at 220 points for special make this already competitive choice potentially the best choice by far. And it already had very real reasons to be used over Pen, having better fighting, better DPS, and being better at painting up larger areas due to how spread out its paint can be. If Pen's pick rate goes down, and it will naturally be used more. Heavy Edit Splatling Nouveau, which I'm going to call Crab Edit, also appreciates these changes as well. The big problem with running Crab Edit is that you have to run Zap, which before the patch had those short-range tactical problems that we talked about before. Now that Zap is stronger and Pen is giving less competition, Crab Edit looks a lot more viable of a choice. We've talked about an edit comp before already, but for Crab Edit, you can run it with Zap, Rapid Pro Deco, and Stamper. Rapid Pro with Stamper is one of the scariest duos in the game due to how easy it is to set up combos with them. Whale's chip damage combined with Zipcaster, while a zip goes out, Crab Edit can walk up or provide chip damage from far away using its Crab Tank, which is going to get a lot of. Our fourth weapon is another winner from indirect buffs, the Eliter 4K. Leader already had a reason to be picked, mainly being that it significantly outranges Pen, as well as the one-shot being hard for opponents to play around. It has been used to get a podium placement in the Zone, which is a Splatoon tournament that many players in the West like to play in, as well as getting second in Area Cup, which is a largely Japanese tournament where some of the best players in the game play to win in. Pen being nerfed gives even more reasons for sniper players to go Leader. Plus, if heavy edit becomes more popular, Leader is an amazing weapon into it because the range difference is absolutely massive between the two. And Leader can have a field day standing almost wherever it wants against that weapon. For a Leader comp, pairing it with Stamper, Slosher, and Zap is very good. Stamper and Slosher are going to provide a lot of chaos in the front line because they walk up off of each other and combo off of each other very easily. Leader can use all of this chaos to move up itself and land one-shots on players distracted by the Stamper and Slosher. I also want to give a light shout out to Firefin here, as it's another sniper that could see more use if Pen's pick rate goes down. The only thing is that Firefin and Pen have the exact same range, so you're losing out on that reason to pick a sniper other than Pen. This last weapon received a major buff to its special, and it's the Splatoon Wiper. Wiper's special, Ultra Stamp, received a major change that could boost the strength of its special. When throwing an Ultra Stamp, you have multiple hitboxes. A lethal hitbox, a hitbox that does 60 damage, and a hitbox that does 30 damage. This change makes it so this massive 60 damage hitbox from before is now a one-shot, as well as the 30 damage hitbox from before becoming a 60 damage hitbox. This makes securing kills when tossing your hammer much easier than before. Wiper's main problem was its special being very bad, but this change makes Ultra Stamp a significantly better special, as well as easier to use. Wiper also struggles with securing picks, but because Hammer itself will be better at securing picks, that problem with Wiper is directly getting addressed. For a comp, Wiper is very good with weapons, subs, and specials that do burst damage. From there, you can pair it with Slosher, Splash-O-Matic, and Pen for a very combo-based comp, and a comp with powerful specials and paint to help get a Wiper in. Overall, this could be a great patch for shaking up the meta and changing what weapons we see. Due to the patches slowing down, tournament play is going to be the main thing that draws attention to the game. For casuals and pros alike, seeing different weapons used at the top could add a lot of interest to the game. Make sure to test out this patch later tonight, as well as tune into my stream, as I'll be playing the patch in a scrim with my team. Take care, everybody.